Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the general concept of homeopathic pharmacy, its origin, source books of homeopathic pharmacy, branches of homeopathic pharmacy, and homeopathic pharmacopoeia. I am going to discuss about the essential features of these topics, which are very helpful for your All India Ayush PG entrance exam. So first, we are going to discuss about the general concept of homeopathic pharmacy. To begin with, the definition of homeopathic pharmacy. The term pharmacy is an art and science of identifying, collecting, combining, compounding, preparing, preserving, and standardization of drug according to the rules and regulations of homeopathic pharmacopoeia and dispense according to the prescription of a physician. It also embraces the legal and professional aspects and regulation of distribution of homeopathic medicines. So this is the definition of homeopathic pharmacy. It does not have much relevance in competitive examinations. Now coming to the etymology of pharmacy, it is originated from a Greek word, that is pharmakon, which means a drug, medicine, or a magic spell, or remedy, or poison, etc. So these are the meaning of the word pharmakon, which is a Greek word where the word pharmacy originated. So you should please note down the pharmacy originate from Greek word pharmakon. Next is the pillars of the homeopathic pharmacy. The word homeopathic pharmacy as a subject stand. Monopharmacy. We use single medicine. Law of similia, law of simplex, and law of minimum dose. These are the three cardinal principles of homeopathic pharmacy. Now, monopharmacy, we use single medicines, not a combination of medicines. Pharmacodynamics is the study about the dynamic action of the medicines as a homeopathic perspective. And potentization is another concept in homeopathy, where which is a unique feature of homeopathic pharmacy. So these are the pillars where homeopathic pharmacy based on. Now coming to the sources of homeopathic pharmacy. Here homeopathic, the sources means it is a source books for homeopathic pharmacy. Don't confuse with the sources of homeopathic medicine. That is different. Okay. Here we mean sources of homeopathic pharmacy. That means the source books for homeopathic pharmacy. So three important books, important monuments of Hahnemann are considered as an important source books for or source material for homeopathic pharmacy, as Dr. Hahnemann has not written any separate book on homeopathic pharmacy. The first one is Mathematica Pura. It is published in 6 volumes. Then Organ of Medicine, edition 1 to edition 6. Chronic Diseases, part 1 to part 4. So these are the important source books for homeopathic pharmacy. You can see the method of preparation, identification, pharmacological actions, pharmacodynamics, posology. All these things are incorporated in these books. Apart from this, Hahnemann also written several articles which is known as lesser writings of homeopathic pharmacy. So these are the lesser writings of Hahnemann, where you can see the glimpses of homeopathic pharmacy. Essay on new principle of ascertaining a curative power of drug, and some examination of previous principle, which was published on 1796. Fragmenta de verbis medicamentorum positivus sive in sano corpore humano observatis. This is another article which was published by Hahnemann in 1805. On the evaluation of value of speculative system of medicine, especially in connection with the various system of practice, which was published in 1808. This was another essay published by Hahnemann. And the last one is on the preparation and dispensing of medicine or homeopathic physician, which was published in 1820. And these are the essays and important works of Hahnemann, different editions and year of publications and a number of drugs. Here in Fragmenta de verbis medicamentorum, just published in 1805, it contains 27 drugs. Materia Medica Pura, first edition contains 64 medicines, and the third edition contains 67 medicines. In chronic diseases, in the first edition, it contains 22 medicines, and second edition contains 47 medicines. So these are the source books for homeopathic pharmacy. Now we'll see the branches of pharmacy, how the homeopathic pharmacy or pharmacy in general is classified. The first one is, it is broadly classified into official pharmacy and extemporaneous pharmacy. Here, official pharmacy means is the practice of pharmacy which deals with the directions of pharmacopoeia, official pharmacopoeia. So here the preparation and distribution of medicine as per the direction of an official pharmacopoeia, which is done in pharmaceutical. So there should be a official, another authority will be there. It may be a pharmacopoeia or any other standard operating procedure. So that type of practice of pharmacy is classified as official pharmacopoeia. Now the second one is extemporaneous pharmacy. In extemporaneous pharmacy, what we are commonly practiced in our dispensaries and pharmacies, it is as per the direction of the physician, how the pharmacist or dispenser prepare and dispense the medicines without any official standard operating procedure or any directions in the pharmacopoeia. That is called as extemporaneous pharmacy. Okay, so that is done in dispensaries and pharmacies. Now another branch is Galenical pharmacy, which means it deals with the extraction of crude. It is a study about the crude medicine. And why it is called Galenical pharmacy? It was discovered by the 16th century physician Galen. He proposes the concept of Galenical medicine. It is 2nd century physician. So it was he was a very old, is one of the pioneer in medicines who proposes the use of crude drug in the medicines. And these medicines are also known as Galenicals. Galenicals are pharmaceutical preparations obtained by macerating or percolating drug with alcohol of appropriate strength and some menstruum carefully selected to remove as thoroughly the desired principle and to leave the inert and other undesirable constituent of the plant undissolved. So in general, we can say Galenicals are crude medicines, and these Galenicals are having no role in homeopathic pharmacy because we are not used the very crude substances. Preparations under Galenicals are infusions, decoctions, fluid extract, and fluid glycerides, vinegars, and tinctures. Now about the practical or operative pharmacy. This is the practice of pharmacy which relates to aspects of manufacture, standardization, retail, and also includes the administrative and hospital pharmacy. So here the practical or operative pharmacy means it is a practical aspect of pharmacy which is prevailed in or doing in a manufacturing unit or in a hospital, how the clinical pharmacy works, how the medicines are distributed in a OP pharmacy or in a IP pharmacy in wards. So these practices are collectively called as operative pharmacy or practical pharmacy. Now, institutional or hospital pharmacy here, especially the practice of pharmacy in the hospitals, it can be in a retail pharmacy in a hospital or any health maintenance organization, nursing homes, IP or medical camps. So these type of practice of pharmacy is classified under institutional or hospital pharmacy. Now we will see some of the terminologies, some of the definitions which is used in homeopathic pharmacy or in pharmacy general. Pharmaceutics. Pharmaceutics is a branch of pharmacy or medicine which deal with the preparing and dispensing of medicine. So pharmaceutics is mainly practiced in manufacturing unit, especially dealing with the preparation in large scale and also the standardizations, the delivery of pharmaceutical products in market. All this is comprised of pharmaceutics. Pharmacopraxy. Pharmacopraxy is a study of art and science of converting a crude drug into real medicine. So converting, potentization is a form of pharmacopraxy. Converting a crude drug into a real medicine. Pharmacogenetics. Pharmacogenetic is a study of effect of genetic factor on the individual organisms responsible to drug. So every person have a unique genetic framework. So how a drug is responding, how a drug act on a particular genome or a phenotype. So this aspect of the study of pharmacy is known as pharmacogenetics. How a particular genotype responds to the effect of the drug. Pharmacography is a treatise or description of the drug. So we commonly known as monograph, which is a description of the drug in a pharmacopoeia. So that type of description, study about the description of the drugs is known as pharmacography. Now, pharmacologist. Pharmacologist is a person who is well versed in the knowledge of drugs, its sources, appearance, the phytochemicals, which is a plant drug, and its actions. So generally about the constituents of the drug and its action. So a person who studied about these type of these aspects of the drug are called as pharmacologist. Pharmacotherapy. Pharmacotherapy is a treatment of disease with medicine. So a disease can be managed with even without medicine also, with medicine also. If it is with the medicine, then it is called a pharmacotherapy. Pharmacology. Pharmacology is a branch of medicine concerned with the study of drug and its action. So it is generally about the drug action, and it can be a physiological action or a pharmacological action. Pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is a branch of pharmacy dealing with the identification of natural substance that has a medicinal properties. It does not only about identifying features. It is about identification, about the selection of the drug. If you are selecting the correct medicines or the correct species, if it is a plant drug, and how to isolate the phytoconstituents or other constituents from the drug substances, and how this can be analyzed. So all these things comes under pharmacognosy. Cognosy means to know about the knowledge of the drug substance, its habitat. All these things comes under the purview of pharmacognosy. Now pharmacodynamics. Pharmacodynamics is also a branch of pharmacology concerned with the study of effect of the drug and the modes of action of the drug in the body. It deals with the study of dynamic action of the drug. In a homeopathic perspective, pharmacodynamics means it is about the study of dynamic action of the drug. But in general pharmacology, the meaning of pharmacology is concerned with the study of effect of the drug in the body. Next is pharmacokinetics. Pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics having some difference. Pharmacokinetics is study of fate of the drug inside the body over a period of time, including absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. So the difference between pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics is pharmacodynamics is a study of effect of the drug in the body, whereas pharmacokinetics is the how the body responds, or what is the fate of the drug substance in the body, how it transfers. It will be absorbed, it will be distributed to the site of action, then it will be get metabolized, then it will be excreted. So such type of study is known as pharmacokinetics. Now pharmacophore. Pharmacophore is a group of atoms in a molecule of a drug which causes the therapeutic effect. That is about the molecular aspect of the drug. Pharmacopedia. Pharmacopedic means the teaching of pharmacy and pharmacodynamics. Pharmacometrics is a science of identification, comparative evaluation, both quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative and qualitative measurement of the drug activities using various models. Pharmaconomy is very, very important. The subject dealing with the route of administration of drugs and medicines, how the drug is administered to a patient. It can be oral route, it can be olfactory, it can be rectal, it can be vaginal, it can be over the skin, epidemic, or it can be an epidemic, it can be just applied over the skin, or it can be applied and we need to rub. So there are different routes of administration. Pharmacopolaxy is also very important in homeopathy, study of repetition of medicinal dose. So how a particular dose is repeated, whether it is required. First we have to assess whether the repetition is required. In case of any repetition, how often we need to repair, what is the mode of administration in repetition, all these things comes under pharmacopolaxy. Pharmacoradiography is an X-ray examination of body organ under the influence of the drug. It is the contrast X-ray or contrast CT, all these things comes under pharmacoradiography. Now, pharmacomania. Pharmacomania is an abnormal tendency for taking medicine. So, some people are very fond of taking medicine. They will take the tendency to have more medicines, taking medicine for a very subtle illness or a very mild illness, they may take more medicine. So such type of, it's a condition, a mental condition. So that is of abnormal tendency is known as pharmacomania. Pharmacophilia is a self-drugging carried to the degree of insanity. So here it has got to a further level, a self-drugging carried to a degree of insanity. It becomes a mental disease, pharmacophilia. Pharmacophobia is a morbid dread of medicines. Some people are very having much fear of taking medicine. So such people, such condition is known as pharmacophobia. Another condition is pharmacopsychosis. It is a mental disease due to alcohol, drugs, and poison. So due to the excessive use of recreational drugs or alcohol or any other narcotic drugs, if any mental disease is caused, then it is called as pharmacopsychosis. So this is about the general concept about the pharmacy, and whatever I discussed is important, and wherever whichever is or whatever is important, I have told you this is important. Okay. Now coming to pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia, you know, before going to the definition of pharmacopoeia, let us see who is father of pharmacopoeia. Father of pharmacopoeia in general is Valerius Cordus. he published it as a dispensatorium, and later it was known as Nuremberg Pharmacopoeia, and it was considered as the first pharmacopoeia in the history of medicine. Now, coming to the homeopathic pharmacopoeia, Dr. Karl W. Kasperi of Leipzig is considered as a father of homeopathic pharmacopoeia. His pharmacopoeia was Homeopathistes Dispensatorium for Hersitte and Apotheker. In English, it means Pharmacopoeia of Physicians and Pharmacists, and which was published in 1825. Very, very important for All India PG Entrance exam. The year is very, very important, 1825, and the name of the contributor is Dr. Karl W. Kasperi, who considered as a father of homeopathic pharmacopoeia. Now, pharmacopoeia definition is: it is a supreme authoritative book published by an authority, a government of any country, that contains a list of drugs used in homeopathy approved by the authority and deals with the rules and regulations of standardization of drug substance. So one thing to understand is it is published by an authority or a government of any country or any authority appointed by the government, which is considered as official pharmacopoeia. There are another type of pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia generally classified into two, official and unofficial one. Official one was published by a government or its authority, whereas unofficial one is published by any person other than the authority. Okay? So these are the difference between official and unofficial pharmacopoeia. Now, we'll see the pharmacopoeia, homeopathic pharmacopoeia one by one. First one is German pharmacopoeia. So some countries, most of the countries have their own pharmacopoeia, either official or unofficial, or some countries may have both official as well as unofficial pharmacopoeia. So Germany is a country where they have two types of pharmacopoeia, official pharmacopoeia and unofficial pharmacopoeia. And some countries, they may have unofficial pharmacopoeia. When it was published, it was unofficial, and later it was adopted by the government or some act. Under the act, it becomes official. Okay, so that way it can happen. So the German homeopathic pharmacopoeia is the first pharmacopoeia we already discussed. Homeopathistes Dispensatorium for Hersitte and Apotheker, homeopathic pharmacopoeia for physicians and pharmacists. It was by Karl W. Kasperi in the year 1825. And one of the speciality of this pharmacopoeia is it produced the idea of homeopathic pharmacopoeia and viewed the concept that homeopathic system of medicine should have its own pharmacopoeia. And most of the methods which is used in this pharmacopoeia is reproduced from the Hahnemannian method of preparation of drug. So how Hahnemann has prepared the drug, which is known as the classical method or Hahnemannian method. So this pharmacopoeia adopted mainly the Hahnemannian method. Okay? So that is a speciality. So when you study pharmacopoeia for All India Ayush PG Entrance exam, you need to study what is the name of the pharmacopoeia, when it was published, who published it, and what is the speciality of that particular pharmacopoeia. Under this heading, you should study the pharmacopoeia. Now, the next pharmacopoeia in Germany is Pharmacopoeia Homeopathic Polyglotta, and it was published by von Wilhelm Schwabe in the year 1872. Please note 1872, and it has undergone several editions later. In 1880, second edition; in 1829, second English edition, and it was later sponsored by German federal government, and it becomes Dr. Wilhelm Schwabe's Homeopathic Arzneimittel, HAB, which was subsequently accepted as official German homeopathic pharmacopoeia. So I told you it was published as an unofficial pharmacopoeia, Then later it became official law. So this is considered as an official GHP, German homeopathic pharmacopoeia. Okay, so that is about the German homeopathic pharmacopoeias. So there are two. One was published by Caspary, another one was published by Wilma Schwabe. Now we'll see the pharmacopoeia of Britain, British homeopathic pharmacopoeia. British homeopathic pharmacopoeia was published in the year 1870 by British Homeopathic Society, and it was published. British Homeopathic Society is a private agency, and it is an unofficial pharmacopoeia, and it has undergone several editions later. Lot of additions were there, lot of editions were there, and many people edited that, and it was edited by E. Gordon Son, British Homeopathic Manufacturers and Associations, etc. Then one of the important features of British Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia is consideration of effect of plant moisture. So German pharmacopoeias never address the moisture which is present in a plant, and that is the difference between the Hahnemannian method and the new method. Okay, and it was first noted by British Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, and use of different strength of alcohol for drug preparations. This is another new concept in British Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia. They introduced accurate description of drug in details. So one of the special feature of British Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia is accurate description of the drugs, about the identifications, and that is very, very important. And that is why British Pharmacopoeia is considered even today as one of the very important homeopathic pharmacopoeias due to its intrinsic merit. Okay. Now, homeopathic pharmacopoeia of France. Homeopathic pharmacopoeia of France was published in 1898, and it ran into several editions later. A special feature of homeopathic pharmacopoeia of France is they added new drug in categories of nosodes, organopathic drugs, biochemicals, organochemicals, and minerals. So that is one of the special feature of French homeopathic pharmacopoeia. Is many of the nosodes are the medicines prepared from deceased product, deceased parts, deceased secretions. So it contains a very large list of nosodes which are not found in any other pharmacopoeias. Next is American Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, in short we call AHP, which was an unofficial pharmacopoeia, and it was published by Borick and Tafel in 1882, and later it has undergone several editions. In 1904, the 10th edition was published, and they added a companion to British and American Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, considering the merit of both the British Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia and American Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia. They added some companion to that, and it was compiled by Lawrence T. Ashwell, and it was published by Keith Ashwell. And this book, it was published from 1882 to 1890. The 4th edition was published, and it was still considered as an unofficial pharmacopoeia. And by the time there was another pharmacopoeia published by American Institute of Homeopathy, Pharmacopoeia of American Institute of Homeopathy. It was published by Otis Clapp and Son in 1897. And the name was changed. The name of this pharmacopoeia was changed to Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of United States, HPUS, in 1901. That was the 2nd edition of Pharmacopoeia of American Institute of Homeopathy. In the 2nd edition, the name was changed into Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of United States. Then in 1938, they had a sole authority of preparing homeopathic medicines in USA. By the effect of Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, or it is called as Pure Food Law. Pure Food Law. In 1940 to 1941, a pharmacopoeia committee appointed by the US government recommended uniform drug strength of 10% for all drugs except few. And by the act of Pure Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, it becomes the official pharmacopoeia in the year 1941, the 6th edition of this pharmacopoeia, and it becomes official one. And still it was undergone several editions in 1964, 1979, and a compendium of homeotherapy is added to this pharmacopoeia, and several such editions were published. And now this pharmacopoeia is it is considered as Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of United States or Revision Service, HPRS, HPUS or HPRS, and it is purely now a real-time online pharmacopoeia. There will be frequent updation of this pharmacopoeia about the newer concept and addition of the drug. So this is one of the very important pharmacopoeia in homeopathy. Now, Indian pharmacopoeias. Indian pharmacopoeia, like Germany and America, in India has also got two types of pharmacopoeia. One is official and another one is unofficial. So unofficial pharmacopoeias. Unofficial pharmacopoeia, the first one is the Pharmaceutics Manual. Pharmaceutics Manual, it was published by M. Bhattacharya and Company in 1892 in Calcutta. And it has undergone several editions later. And one of the speciality of this pharmacopoeia is it contains a lot of Indian drugs. 70 Indian drugs are added, which is not found in any other pharmacopoeias. And in 1962, the name of this pharmacopoeia is changed into M. Bhattacharya and Company's Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, and it becomes enlarged and revised. And one of the special feature of this pharmacopoeia is it contains a lot of Indian drugs, which is not found in any other pharmacopoeia, including the official pharmacopoeia of India. And next is the HPI, or Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of India, which was published in the year 1971. It has got 10 volumes starting from 1971 to 2013. Total of 1117 monographs are there. And the first volume contained 180 monographs, which was published in 1971. Second volume 1974 contains 100 monographs. Third volume published in 1978 contains 105 monographs. Fourth volume 1984 contains 107 monographs. Fifth volume contains 114 monographs published in 1986. And sixth one 1990, 104. And seventh one 1999, 105 monographs. Eighth volume 2000, 101 monographs. Ninth volume 2006, 100 monographs, and 10th volume recently 2013, 101 monographs. So this should be by hearted, the number of monographs, year of publication, and the volume. Now we'll see in short about the official pharmacopoeias and unofficial pharmacopoeias. German Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of United States, or HPRS, Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia Revised Service, Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of India. Both are considered as official pharmacopoeia, and all other pharmacopoeias considered as unofficial pharmacopoeias, including Mexican, Pakistan, Brazilian Encyclopedia of Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia by P.N. Intuan, P.N. Verma and Indu Ved. Now we'll see the monograph. What is a monograph? Monograph is a general plan of pharmacopoeia, is to be laid down and the direction of the selection and preparation of drugs that are thoroughly adapted to the purpose of prescribing. And these directions and specification of each drug are called as monograph. So monograph is direction and specification of each drug in a monograph. That is called as a monograph. So we have discussed most of the essential aspects of the pharmacy introduction as well as a homeopathic pharmacy.